Okay, MGTOW brothers. Basically, I want to talk about how people act like, MGTOW are just a bunch of short, fat, broke guys who just play Warcraft and Star Wars video games all day and are obsessed with video games and like all like 5'6" and 220 or whatever, and live in their mother's basement and don't really make a whole lot of money, and make like $500 a week. I mean, that's not $500 a month. I mean, me, I would probably I'm well above that. I'm not gonna say how much because people are crazy about money these days, but I sustain myself. You know what I'm saying? I go to the gym. I lift weights. I'm not Terry Crews or those guys like that or that buff, but I'm in good enough shape to where I could play football. College football right now. I'm 25 or whatever. I wouldn't, or semi-pro. I wouldn't play in the pros, man. Like, nah. But like, what I'm trying to say is this: at the same time, I take care of myself, and I have book smarts. I have street smarts. You know what I'm saying? I used to grow in the hood or whatever. I grew up in the hood, so I've been chased by dogs before. I had to fight dogs. I got jumped before. I had to fight multiple people at one time, or a grown man when I was 15. So I've had to deal with a lot of things. I got in trouble when I was younger. It was some stupid stuff, like I got unfairly punished, when I was 19. So I've been through a lot. I've been through a lot, man, and my dad, he had his problems, he was crazy. But I mean, I had a lot to go through, man. But like, people act like we're just a bunch of dudes who complain about women all day. But it's much more than that. It's not about women. It's about men going their own way. A man doing whatever's in his best interest, and that's not always getting married. That's not always having a $100,000 house in the neighborhood that's considered safe and having a dog and two kids and a car. I mean, that was the American dream probably, 50 years ago. But that 50 years ago and today, everything has changed, $100,000 isn't even $100,000 anymore. It like went from $100,000 in 1968 is now worth like, $30,000. I mean, it really went downhill. And like, for instance, a dude back then, paying could pay a woman back then $40 an hour would get a man a nice looking, call girl or escort or something like that, $40 an hour. Now it's $120 an hour, and that's on the lower end. And whenever the prices soar, when a man's buying an escort, the prices jump even higher. Like, let's just say if something costed $5 in 1968, it would cost $15 today, or $20. It went up 3 to 4 times. If a woman charged $40 back then, she might want $200 or $300 now. Just to insinuate that it's just crazy. Like, they just add inflation to it, and that's why I say, I don't believe in paying for sex. And people want to talk about how we choose bad girls or we want all the Nicki Minaj's and Rihanna's and all type of stuff, but like, they don't even know us. Every man is different. Like, for me, when I was a kid, I was going for the intellectual girls. All the girls that I had crushes on, they graduated from 4-year colleges. You know what I'm saying? They got scholarships. They're not even in debt. They're usually, a lot of times they're in, they're like in their field that they went to college for. They're making $40,000 a year, and they're like 25 or 24. Or like, even one of my friends, she's a lesbian, but she's teaching English, at the school that we used to attend when we were kids. I mean, so like, the people that I was friends with or, cool with, those people went on to do better things. And the people who I didn't really F with like that, they all got kids and they're 20-something years old. They all got kids, or they went to jail, or something bad happened to them. The people who I didn't really deal with. just to insinuate that, I usually the people who went down the wrong path, I usually didn't associate with those people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I was 19, I was hanging around a bunch of dudes who were like a little bit shady when I was 18 or 19. But after that year, I didn't really F with them. In 2013, I wasn't Fing with the same people I used to F with in 2012. And 2012 was really like the time of bad judgment for me. Like, I was making a lot of mistakes, and they cost me deeply. Like, every time I made a mistake in 2012, I was getting punished for it, and the punishment was coming, expedited. So, yeah, I mean, people want to act like we all just chase after those girls that are just ghetto. And quite frankly, if you live in Oak Cliff or Pleasant Grove, you don't really have a whole lot of options, shit. There's no, you know what I'm saying? You don't have any good options. It's like you really don't. And me, I just chose nothing because there was nothing good to choose from,